Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's No FOMO Charts Stocks and Crypto TA live stream. Had a bit of a power outage earlier, so this is the version 2. This is the new stream. Welcome, everybody. Streaming live on TradingView, YouTube, and Twitch right now. Also have a Twitter group. Before we start, just want to say thank you so much to TradingView for featuring this live stream in the editor's picks. I was not expecting that at all. So thank you so much. TradingView has the best charts and tools in the business. So everybody check it out. All right. So today's format will be a little bit different. I do have some prepared chart setup notes, but we'll start with stocks first and the news. So we have upcoming earnings for stocks right now. We're still in USA stock market earnings season. Some of the big companies already reported, but we have a few big ones this week. We have Lowe's, Nvidia, Best Buy, Costco, just to name a few, Ulta Beauty, Marvell for tech people, Petco for pet owners. There are some clothing companies like Urban Outfitters, Abercrombie, American Eagle, etc., Gap as well. We have some tech as well. A couple car companies reporting as well as Intuit, AutoZone. Now, in terms of the economic data releases, we have manufacturing PMI and services PMI. We have the FOMC meeting minutes, the Treasury Secretary Yellen's speech, which probably she's going to talk about the debt ceiling a little bit. Preliminary GDP, core PCE price index relating to inflation, unemployment claims also relating to inflation, durable goods and consumer sentiment as well. Just a quick overview of the news. Yes, we are still in USA stock market earnings season. We survived and got through. Finance companies and tech companies, retail as well. It's not bad. Now we're moving on. So USA debt ceiling limit negotiations are in progress right now, albeit it's pretty slow. I'm probably not going to talk too much about this until something significant has been completed in terms of a deal being finished. The FOMC chairman did hint at possible dovish comments regarding possible rate hike pauses this year. And we're probably going to see a little bit more on that in terms of the FOMC meeting minutes that are coming out this week. G7 meetings in Japan, there's some fear, uncertainty, doubt, FUD regarding all these issues going on, like debt ceiling, inflation, etc. Interestingly, in crypto, the Bitcoin 2023 conference attendance was down, reduced by negative 50% this year. So that just kind of that shows that the sentiment in crypto is just not there right now. We have bigger problems in the world than crypto trading. Coinbase One also launches subscription-based zero-fee trading and staking rewards, but that is a monthly subscription-based fee, which to me as a trader is not interesting at all. Crypto exchanges need to kind of follow suit with the stock exchanges that eliminated. Imagine zero free trading, no subscription needed. We need that. We need that in crypto to get everybody coming back to crypto. Lastly, Apple bans employees from using ChatGPT, as well as a lot of universities and schools are doing the same. So ChatGPT is that powerful. All right. Moving on, we do have some of these stock chart setups. I'll just leave this here if you want to take a screenshot for yourself. You just use these. These are potential setups, and this does not, first off, this is not financial advice. It's just educational setups where you can learn, maybe practice paper trading. And this does not mean instant buy or do anything. It's just whatever I see on the charts, I'm just going to describe it and label it in terms of define it, I should say, not label it, but define what is happening. Because we can always make a call on what's happening on the charts. Meaning, are we going up? Or are we going down? Etc. So we'll cover this today. S&P 500, potential ascending triangle, upward wedge, nearing resistance, potential breakout. NASDAQ QQQ is uptrending near its resistance trend line. DIA in a symmetrical triangle above the support trend line bounce. IWM, Russell 2000 ETF, price consolidating and bounced above the support trend line. For crypto, It's a little bit different story. Crypto is not 100% correlated with the tech sector right now. It's more correlated with metals like gold. So total crypto market cap, the price is approaching the year-to-date support trendline zone area, but Bitcoin is not. It's kind of in the middle of its upward wedge, aiming down at the lower low support trendline zone. Same with Ethereum. And Binance Coin was consolidating a little bit more inside of a rising wedge. And we'll get to these. But if you want to take a screenshot of these, it's a new format. I'll just give some chart analysis setups up front first. Okay. Now, let's get into the actual TA. So welcome everybody. If you have a request, just let me know. Let me know as soon as possible in the live chat, because sometimes I don't see it for like 10 minutes. So SPY, when I'm talking about my notes, let me bring this up on the side. Is that we do have the potential ascending triangle. We have to look at a different chart. I'll actually look at SPX. All right, this is what I'm talking about. The potential ascending triangle and the yellow lines. It's not 100% perfect, but it's basically there. It's usually a bullish pattern. And we are still in this uptrend, and we had this potential fake out breakout. So this is not real to me. The breakout's not real until we completely break out, retest the support, and then continue the uptrend. And we basically should not come down if the uptrend is real. The breakout is real. If it's fake out, then you can see immediate support in this 4,000, 4,100 level in the gray line. And the long-term target, if we measure the move, 8% from the breakout should take us to these. This is what I love about TradingView. Even though my computer power off, shut off, it's still saved for me. It's amazing. So thank you, TradingView. Right? The first target right here, 4,500. Second target, 4,800 in terms of measuring the big moves. It could take 1 to 2 years, however. It took us 1 year to bottom out, basically. So it could take us another year or 1 or 2 more years to get out of there and to uptrend completely. That's what I'm talking about on SPY. Quickly on the weekly, there's no shooting star, which is good. The 4-hour, not quite in the super overbought range, and still EMA up cross. So let's keep the uptrend intact. Get things moving. NASDAQ had a rising wedge breakout. It depends on where the rising wedge is drawn, right? If it's drawn on the wicks, then we just reached that resistance point and the RSI got to an overbought level, okay? So it's uptrending, but it's at a relative resistance zone. It's also at a horizontal resistance level. That was probably perpetuated by some of the top tech stocks like NVIDIA and Apple. The NVIDIA had a breakout, so that's probably what happened there. Was that foreseeable on the charts? Yes, we had MACD, double MACD histogram continuation, and it's an uptrend for some time now. We do have a golden cross, so the support levels on the downside, 324, 315, and 300. We could pull back down to the big immediate support about 330. But we're still in the uptrend with the golden cross, so this is very good for NASDAQ. This golden up cross has not happened since March 2019. Almost death crossed in pandemic March 2020, but this is very significant. This is very significant. In the short term, we can have pullbacks down to retest, right? If any traders or investors are still fearful or skittish out there in terms of because of debt ceiling, recession risk, inflation, but although inflation numbers are down, data is down. We just need to hold this level. 300 is our final level in the sand. If anyone is still, I'm still playing a little bit cautious, but in terms of the golden up cross, I mean, this is giving a lot of people confidence that we're probably going to go up from here in the long term, like 2 years from now. Okay, what will make me change that is if the price starts coming down and we lose this 300 level. That's very bad. And also, there's no shooting star or bearish engulfing candle on the weekly, nor are there any dojis. 4 hours still in the uptrend. It's just at a relative high. We could pull back to the 50 EMA or the 200 EMA, which is why I highlighted those blue marks. Moving on to Dow Jones. Dow Jones, slightly different story. Not quite a ascending triangle, more like a symmetrical triangle, but a little bit of consolidation. This bottom X level is the support. We'll know we have a problem when the price starts downtrending out of that support zone to the downside. So if we lose 327 area and it closes and holds down and starts downtrending below that here, we have a problem. The opposite is true, that we have 342 as our level. So we could definitely bounce here. This is not a real upside down head and shoulders because it's happening in a consolidation, not at a downtrend. So I'm just marking these two levels as we have to break out or break down out of one of those two levels to get clear sign of what's going on with the Dow Jones for long-term investing. There is no shooting star right now. We have an inside bar on the last week, so it's consolidating at the moment right now. We'll just see what happens there. Next, IWM. What am I talking about? We have a kind of a weekly double bottom here, which could be good for our support level. But if we zoom all the way out, this is the support line that we're riding right now. So that's why I'm interested in some certain growth stocks right now, because if we survive the debt ceiling, that gets negotiated. If inflation starts to come down, if rate hikes pause, then we should see significant bounce in some of these laggard growth ETFs and stocks, which I've actually been very interested in my own trading. So as long as we hold that double bottom, we should be okay. And the fact that it's down here on this support level, we have plenty of room to bounce if the market survives. Okay, so Russell 2000, about 10% volatility, maybe gains with the 5% stop loss. Interested in that. Let's move on here. We'll do a couple USO very quickly. USO still holding its higher low. I do want to point out that XLE is holding a relative support area zone just above 76. If that can turn into a double bottom, you can see the energy stocks might rise again. That's why it's interesting to witness in a symmetrical triangle. So there's multiple reasons why this might be in a double bottom pattern, and it's bouncing right off that 236 level in the Fibonacci. So as long as that holds, we can try to bounce up to 85. So USO, maybe that's going to happen, right? It's similar pattern. You hit the higher low at this X, you hold that level at $61, see if we could bounce up to $70. That's the target on the upside. Downside, if it gets rejected, because technically it's still death crossed here, we could get rejected. Shorts try to really punish this down to about $58. UNG, very nice. We're establishing that level of support, and we're starting to get bullish momentum on the MACD and RSI. It hasn't quite exploded to the upside yet in terms of the price, but the weekly is definitely building. So I'm in this trade. I'm long in natural gas just to see what happens here, because if XLE is going to go up, if oil is going to go up, maybe natural gas will go up. It's warmer right now, so maybe less people need it. But just because of the chart setups, I'm entering this trade, FYI, to get this. There might be 25 to 50% if it really price really rallies up, maybe in like a 70-60% of long term, but we'll see what happens here with this trade. All right, we have to talk about gold and silver a little bit. We had a little bit of relief bounce. Probably have to zoom in, but we'll start on the daily. It stopped just above the 100 EMA, about 180. Okay, there was, if I look very closely, there's a gap support right there. So gaps are very important if you're trading stocks. A quick shout out to TradingView. They made their gap indicator. Okay, it's free to everybody, so you can load that up on stocks and it'll find it for you. Very, very useful. Extremely useful. That was hard to do a long time ago. So the fact that it's free for everybody is very, very useful. Thank you, TradingView. Even gets the gaps up here. It's pretty amazing for stocks. Now that we know that, a little bit of MACD history on uptick. And this 4-hour hit oversold as well. It didn't quite hit the bottom side, but the fact that it's starting to bounce up, it was oversold. So might have to close my trade here. We'll see. But if I'm going to close it, I'm going to be stopping out into profit on silver still, right? The target was 5%. We hit it. This is on the daily. This is a Morningstar bullish pattern. So I might have to close my silver short and take the profit just below 5%. Long term, okay, we could get the lower high and it could leg down again. Yes, but it depends on how long I want to hold that for. We'll see what happens. Let's go to some of the, just take a quick glance at this Apple. Apple, we're still in the uptrend here. It is nearing that resistance ceiling at the top here at around 177, 178. So just kind of want to watch out for that. Does that mean Apple's going to crash down, back down like that? No. We need something very bad to happen in the world for Apple to crash down. Or they might just have like their own internal problems like production, factory problem or something, or really bad earnings. But for the most part, until I see that reversal down, if it's holding support, it's business as usual, meaning this blue line. If the price does that, then you know something's wrong with Apple. Just quick look at Microsoft. Microsoft with the potential breakout, and it's getting to that overbought territory. If anybody's trying to long Microsoft, like maybe wait for some kind of dip at some point, because if you're buying high, you have to wait for a very long time to go higher in the future. Take a quick look at Google with Bard. All right, this is shooting star right here printed on the daily. So this is why it's a little bit bearish on the 1 hour, on the H1 and the H4 as well. Just starting to pull back. So if we hit that lower high and then start to trend down, then we'll know the domino effect. The 4 hour will pull back. There is quite a bit of bearish momentum here on the Google H4 chart. The MACD histogram did pull back, so maybe a short is in order here, just to play the and we also have the uptake of the EMAs, right? So this is all, we could pull back down to like a 115, and then traders are probably going to scoop it up there on the bottom side as a long. What else do we skip? Tesla still in its descending wedge. It's still downtrending. I want people to understand that Tesla is not in a golden up cross like some of these other stocks. Okay, it's still down under here. It's still death cross on the EMAs technically, right? But hopefully the changeover with Twitter CEO Elon Musk, hopefully things will change over with the management in terms of really getting the production, because on the news, their news has not been that great, is what I'm talking about on Tesla, right? We need some kind of like bullish news. There's more news about like recalls and things like that. So it's like or discounted, right? We don't really want to see that. Nobody really wants to see that. We need to see like bullish, like positive earnings or, record sales or something like that, or new technology. Now they're even talking about robots at Tesla, which is the future, yes. But as an investor, it's like you kind of need to see more good news. The only good thing I can say about the chart is we established a price support zone, a trend line on the downside that we're trying to bounce up on this lower high. Price needs to hit maybe about 195. We need to break out of here like that to really get people excited about Tesla again. 188, 200, 220. We need to break out of those levels. The fact that we hit this looks like some kind of maybe 50% retrace 618. Yeah. Right here at the 50% 618, traders eyeing that, and then we're bouncing off to that. So hopefully it can reverse into an uptrend. So Fibonacci does help. Weekly again. Weekly, this kind of reminded me of like pandemic where we crashed. Actually, this is not the right stock to look at, but you can see even on Tesla, even it was up cross, we hit that higher low basically, and then we went super uptrend. I'm not saying it's going to happen now, but maybe that's one scenario where we could get out of here because we do have a Morningstar bullish weekly pattern. So hopefully Tesla can just maintain its uptrend in the long term. Okay, just closing out stocks here. Take a quick look at Palantir. So Palantir, we had some big money come in, and so probably Wall Street bets. People probably trade this Reddit crowd. Also, I believe some big investors play this as well. But this is a shooting star printed. ARK Investments also had their hand in this. Want to watch out for this shooting star. Okay, watch out. It could go higher. It could definitely go higher. So I'm a little hesitant to show this to people, but the fact is we are in the overbought territory. The H4, we are in overbought territory with this momentum coming down. So the question is, it's not going to crash, but where is the dip? Where's the dip level? So it could be somewhere like 1075 or 1006 area where this pulls back down to, and then traders are going to try to trade this and play this in an uptrend. Okay, the H1, we already had its mega overbought and it's pulling back now, and see how far it's going to go down. Well, for the price, we'll know when this rally is over, when it just starts downtrending hard and the EMAs get violated to the downside. It's not happening yet. It's not happening yet. This could change in 1 or 2 days. So it's a very, very kind of volatile stock. But the last time this happened, if we just kind of think about it and look at it this way and not get swayed by the emotions, we had this big dip and a huge bounce. And then you'll know it's over when you have like 3 or 4 days of red. Okay. And that would mean all the dominoes fell down on the intraday, like 15-minute, 1 hour. But we had this double bearish momentum loss. Has that happened yet? No. So we could pull back and then maybe one more time, and then bears try to attack, unless Palantir is the greatest stock and it just keeps running until 20. It's definitely possible. So I'm not saying it's going to crash, but at least a pullback might be in order on the way up in this stock. It was oversold for quite some time too, right? You have this upside down head and shoulder is beautiful play on the weekly. Okay. Where was the target? About 47, let's say 50%. So we already hit that 47, 50% like exactly. So some algorithms have their hand in this, right? And then if you also double the target to just below 100%, that's an $18 target. Huge, huge MACD play here. This is a beautiful play if you're an investor. I remember I did look at this and call this a long time ago on a couple streams back, saying we're already at this like low IPO level, and that's why we're bouncing. We Fibonacci this thing. Where are we going? Right, the ultimate target. I can already hear people online, social media saying like, "Oh, the target's $20." It definitely could be up here, but we need buyers to sustain that to get on the way up, right? So we'll see if Palantir keeps running or not. This could just be the start, right? Because at some point, if you look at it from a long-term perspective, we just need a pullback to back test that support. And then if it doesn't go down anymore, then people are really going to buy this aggressively. But we'll just see what happens. AMD. Wow. So AMD is still in an uptrend. And we have the golden cross here, right? We hit that support and then boom, we're on the upside. But when I open up some of these indicators, it is starting to develop its bearish momentum on the daily. Okay, weekly, not quite yet, but you can see this very clear upstairs pattern. High, low, high, low, high, low. Hammer continuation right here, higher high. So seeking out its higher high, beautiful play. MACD histogram momentum. The H4 is where we're kind of running into problems. Why I wrote it on my notes is it is uptrending, yes, but we have seen it on its way up on the uptrend, pull back down to retest, and pull back down to retest, right? Meaning the dips. So if that's going to happen, maybe one more time, it might dip down to 98 or 89. I want to pick up some more AMD depending on what's going on here. But it is up crossed on the 5200 EMA. It's a good sign. Do a couple quick ones because from my notes. Pfizer this is an oversold play. Healthcare is kind of nobody, we don't need the pandemic vaccines as much anymore. It's not an emergency anymore. But why is this? On the charts, because we have bullish momentum on the RSI, it's building on this MACD. So where's the target on the upside? You can even see a short. What I see here is some short algorithm. They close their position right here. Somebody closed their position right here. Big trade. But we can have like 7 to 10% upside. So I might put like a 5% stop loss on this. But dangerous because it could keep going down. It is death crossed. It's down. But trying to get that exact bottom is a little challenging. But once it bounces up to the upside, great. Very similar play on J&J, Johnson & Johnson. Now, that's slightly different, low, high, low, high. Now, two scenarios. If this thing keeps going lower, low, then it's not ready to go yet, right? It's not oversold yet enough. So I might have to pull up a Fibonacci on this one, get some targets up. Pandemic low to pandemic high. Okay, you can see if this is going to downtrend, downside target 140, 130 area. However, the reverse is true if we hit this higher low and we get higher high continuation. This is the middle of that move. And the upside resistance is like 168 or 173 or even 180. So it remains to be seen. But on the H4, it's starting to build. It's starting to build. It's getting suspicious here. Okay. And some people might say nothing is on the charts. They don't see anything, but it's because it's in the early stages of it beginning. So people are going to get excited about this when it explodes to the upside, but I can already see it on the charts. It's starting to round out right here at this support level. If this breaks down to 155, this trade's canceled. But if it breaks up to the upside, there might be that continuation play. All right. Yeah, I don't see any comments or any requests right now from anybody. So I'm just going to move on to crypto. Let's move on to crypto. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching and following and supporting. I'm streaming live on TradingView, YouTube, Twitch. We have a Twitter group as well. And if you have a request, go ahead and let me know right away because the live chat is a little bit delayed sometimes. So if you have a request, I can look at it for you right now or in a couple minutes here in this section. So crypto, TOTAL. Crypto total market cap. What's going on right now? It's approaching its trendline zone in the medium term. We draw one trend line. We understand what's happening. Okay, it's riding that trend line right on the bottom side. We can also connect this resistance to get this kind of broadening wedge formation. But what needs to happen with crypto is, yes, there is this bearish head and shoulders. So let's look at that scenario first. It would be about 12% to the downside, which would be about just under $1 trillion market cap, so like 980 billion. Bitcoin, that would be like $24,000 or $25,000. Look at that next. But high, low, high, low. Can we hold any higher low above 1 trillion? That's okay. If it falls down to the downside, that's yellow light. If it starts downtrending hard, then we know red light, red flag. But we're really right here at a contested zone. That's how I'll put it. Now, in the long term, the weekly, you could see this is totally normal. This is totally normal. Hopefully, it's not a dead cat bounce where it's a fake out and the whole market's crash like all markets. But in terms of the big crash, this looks like it wants to play a reversal. It wants to reverse out of here. Okay, the short-term EMA is up cross, so we're literally at the weekly support level. We need to bounce off at this level. We need it so bad. If you're a bull, we need to see that happen. Okay, now going to Bitcoin. Going to Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is golden cross to the upside. Total is as well. Okay, so just flipping between these two charts. Go back to Bitcoin. It's golden up cross. Now we're holding this higher low, riding that trend line. Redraw it. So even if the price comes down to about like 25,000, which I keep saying is my target, big line in the sand at 20,000, cannot go below there, but need to high, low, and then get out of here and break 30,000. So those are the two levels that we're talking about. 30,000, 25,000, and 20,000 are the three big levels in Bitcoin, either going to break up into an uptrend, let's keep going, or we're going to break down and retest support on the downside. And it's going to take some time. How long did it take us to even get out of here? 60 days to 120 days. So that's 2 to 4 months. It's going to take months. So for the rest of this year, 7 months we have left, is as long as we don't close below 20,000 this year, we have a chance at getting a rally, okay? The FUD is in the air. It's in society. It's in social media. No one's excited about crypto because the prices have crashed so low and the bounce has not been significant enough. I mean, we have these altcoins and meme coins that are going, but in terms of the big money, the regulations are the barrier. Remember, crypto exchanges are facing regulatory lawsuits, exchanges going bankrupt, crypto's going bankrupt, companies going bankrupt. That's all bad news. This rally are people getting in. Yes, it's risk. It's risky right now. Nobody really knows what's going to happen, but it's slightly in favor of the bulls right now because we have this uptrend. And if we can overcome a lot of these regulatory challenges, crypto can survive and we'll get another altcoin maybe spring, maybe next year. But we're just holding on to that uptrend right now. Okay. Ethereum USD, very messy chart, but Ethereum still in this golden up cross. We can come down to about 1700 or maybe 1500 and still be okay in this uptrend right now. The market is trying so hard to survive. Now, if we turn on log scale and I Fibonacci this low to high, we just hit the 618. Okay. That is okay. We came out of this symmetrical triangle from last 6 months. We measured that conservative target about 50% to 100%. So do we hit 50%? Not yet. Not yet. 2400 is that 50% target. 100% would be 3,000 Ethereum. That's when you're going to hear the news get really excited about high, low, high. We're looking for the higher low right now. And then we need to see a hammer candle come in. The bulls need to buy. High, low, and then see if we can get out there. That's a bullish case. Bearish case would be there is no hammer and there's a bunch of bearish engulfing candles and then we deflate basically. Okay. And then the downtrend resumes. So, pullbacks on an uptrend are actually okay. That's normal. It's testing liquidity. It's testing support, testing trader investor resolve to see exactly the direction that we're going to go in. Next, let's go to Binance coin. So not quite an ascending triangle. Somebody could make the argument, let's clean this up a little bit. And it's not quite a perfect, ascending triangle horizontal right here. Let me just draw it in case, though. Just see if we can find some hidden setups. That one makes a little bit more sense. Okay. It could be. A little bit dirty, but it's there. However, it's really not at a price support level yet in terms of we have this low, which should be about 280s level. The highs, that trend line is an old trend line. So there's a newer trend line like stuck inside here. That one makes more sense where the resistance has been tested 5 times. So we had this recent double top. That's why it's coming down a little bit. 12% to the downside from that double top downs, which would be 275 right into my target. Leave that little pink circle there for a note for next time. So again, Binance is like the same thing. We need the price to break out above 350 and sustain for 3, 4, 5 months straight. This measure move is like Ethereum. It's about 50 to 150 or 40 to 80%. I'll just say 40 to 80% from the breakout spot, which could be about 475 to about 624 all-time highs. That's a bullish case right now. You'll know we're in trouble if we lose 275 price and then it starts downtrending hard. That's sell. That's get out of there, land. Before I move on, I do want to rewind here because I said last time on the Bitcoin monthly chart, if this turns into a evening star, that is very bad, and that could set this as the lower high in the monthly, and we could just crash back down again, right? So the next 10, 11 days are very important for crypto. If we don't have buyers coming in and this turns into a really bad looking evening star pattern, that could be nightmare for crypto because we went from a morning star that's good, and in like 6-7 months now it's bad all of a sudden. So that's just conditions are really bad for regulations, miners selling, So there actually is a little bit of a hidden problem on crypto right now, which is why I'm not super bullish. Okay, so it's related to debt ceiling, it's related to regulations. Let me finish I'm gonna finish my list and then I'm gonna check if there's any requests. I don't see any requests. So let's finish the list right now. XRP, XRP. This is not a good chart because there's not enough price data. You want to find a chart that has a lot of price data. And on top of my head, maybe we'll just use Bitfinex. This going back to 2017. That's before the huge 20K pump. Now it's trying to hold what level? What is this holding? We zoom in a little bit. Okay, it's testing that 0.88. You can see there's a lot of empty space. So it's not like Bitcoin Cash where it's at the bottom all-time low, which would be 15 cents for XRP. I would love XRP to get down here if you're an investor, right? You want to buy more down at the X. But when it hits this resistance or when it's floating in the middle, this is a temporary good positive. It's not absolute positive. It's relatively good because we found a relative low, higher low, and it's not even at support right now. It's at an intermediate intraday support. There's a weekly chart, by the way. Are we up crossed? It just barely started to up cross. So this is good. This is good. For XRP, we had this upside down head and shoulders. 25% looks like it did hit that target. 50% second target should have taken us to 62 cents. As long as we hold here, this is why it looks like it's floating in the air. But if you zoom in, it's actually backtesting EMA support and see if we can bounce higher to get out of here. So the immediate resistance, 61 cents on Ripple XRP. If we reverse down, if it's low, high, and then we low, low, it's 37 cents. Lower low on the price. Okay. So what I said on my notes is the 4-hour bearish momentum is forming. And why is that? Just because on the RSI and the MACD is losing a little bit of momentum here. So there will be some kind of test in this range in the 45 cents on Ripple. AVAX crypto. All right, look at here. AVAX USDT. I'm saying bullish momentum on the daily because we're starting to see this MACD histogram. It's not super oversold yet like it was in January 2023 or March 2023. It's hitting this level here in terms of the support. That's why the bearish momentum is forming. I mean, excuse me, the bullish momentum is forming. Here we have this MACD. All right, just starting to green uptick like 1 or 2 ticks. So that's why maybe on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, if we get some good news and we get to see crypto kind of bounce here, right? We had that relative short-term support. So traders, when they stare at this kind of chart, it's like, oh, support play, nice, let's buy that because you want to see that reverse and then try to get into an uptrend sim triangle continuation to the upside like that, right? So it's not the bottom of the long-term support like weekly. Maybe this will turn into a little bit of a palantir because on the weekly chart, you might see an upside down head and shoulders, which I've been talking about for a long time. The only problem, the recent price action is lower low, but the long term, like 1 year, is maybe this is a upside down head and shoulders. So the mega bull target is like 100%, 200% out of here to the upside, but it has to hold. Like we need this price to stop dropping at $14, like stop dropping and then go up again. And then once we have that big breakout, you'll get people all excited about AVAX. It depends. My mindset is different. If I'm scalping, if I'm day trading, I'm hunting for very short-term setups. Swing trading, hourly, 4-hour is the time frame most swing traders use. If you're an investor, like daily, weekly, right? So it really depends on your style and who you are as a trader investor, right? Because I'm usually talking a little bit medium term to long term on the stream, unless somebody has a day trading request. Okay, let's go to XLM. Stellar Lumens, a little bit of bullish momentum forming on this daily, and you can see right now it's bottoming right here in terms of right at that trend line. Okay, so it's not quite right at the support. I'm saying forming because it's getting there. We could have another leg down, and then once we have this in the support level about 8 cents, people are going to get interested there because it's so relatively low. We had a breakout fake out attempt, so watch out for this type of fake charts, but fake in terms of the price move on the charts. We wanted to get to resistance. So hold the support level. I might be interested at about 8 cents on Stellar, the lower 8 cents, and then we'll all try to buy that back up to 10 cents. On the weekly, it's establishing a higher low. So if it gets a leg down, that's okay. It needs to get another hammer candle or Morningstar pattern. That's not happened yet. It's soon, though. It could happen soon. Now, where are we on the Fibonacci? This 2020 to here, right? This 618 target is way up here, 30 cents. So I'm kind of interested in XLM if you can hold. Yes, it is death crossed, but if it keeps uptrending out of here, we're gonna actually hit that target at 25 cents soon. Soon meaning like 6 months to a year if we have a nice uptrend. Tron daily bearish momentum, okay, but it is still uptrending, okay? So this is a very short-term momentum play that's starting to show up on the charts, meaning that this can upcross, this thing can upcross even more, right? An uptrend, but then you'll start to see it pull back to the downside. So it's just beginning to form, okay? It's in a golden cross right now on the EMAs, if that makes sense. Sim triangle breakout. So we'll try to see like a 20%. So once it gets to like here, maybe up here, you might see the bearish move. So maybe a rally into this bearish resistance and then a pull back up here. So I'm getting way, way ahead of this one. You want to see it really go up to the upside first. Okay, let's see if we have any requests. We have people watching right now. If you have a question, if you're, if some people are like beginner level or just starting out, if you have a question, just let me know. If you're an intermediate advanced trader or investor, just let me know as well. But I think I prepared a little bit better today, so I'm probably going to end soon, maybe about 5 or 10 minutes. In that time, I'm just going to go down my watch list and see if I find anything very fast. This is an old watch list, but sometimes I like to rapid fire. Let me start with crypto and we'll do stocks as well. Just take a look at it all. Bitcoin. I'm going to rapid fire this. Bitcoin seeking a higher low. Solana consolidating to the side. The support level is 1743. Cardano consolidating, seeking a lower low in its price. XRP, we just had that bounce. AVAX at a relative support level. If we lose that, that's very bad. If this is a double top, again, this could be very bad for AVAX. We need to hold that support level. It's a battle right now. DOT seeking its higher low or lower low. Okay, so this one, there's momentum. That's why there might be a balance. If there's no balance, you can see it go all the way down to mid $4. Doge, the support level. The interesting thing is on the daily, there's a lot of these little MACD histograms that might bounce to the upside. So if that happens, this is an intraday. It's going to start intraday. SHIB finally at support level. So hopefully if this holds on the support side, we can get a nice clean bounce up to 1200 eventually on SHIB. The stop loss would be like 770 and then the upside would be like 1200. I actually might buy some SHIB just because of that. On the weekly though, there's not some super huge MACD momentum, so I'm like 6 months ahead of time, but we might have this huge upside down head and shoulders just like a Palantir if that happens. Matic might start to see a bounce here, hitting that low RSI. Atom having a little bit of trouble here, lost the trendline support, not quite oversold. Litecoin already bounced significantly. I do want to point out Bitcoin Cash. If somebody's a long-term investor, I like Bitcoin Cash because it came down so much. And if this turns into some kind of upside down head and shoulders here, I mean, the target's very high to the upside, like 45 to 90% or even more, 150%. That's why as long as we don't fall below $100, we're actually kind of okay on Bitcoin Cash. On the weekly, Ethereum Classic as well. If we can hold this higher low right here, there's potential upside, like 50% upside It's basically plus or minus like 50% on a lot of these cryptos right now. So we need some good things to happen in the crypto exchanges with regulation and with buyers. Like, even if we have these regulation problems, if 1 million traders come in and start buying all the altcoins and meme coins, or we have big money, like 10, $20 million coming into Ethereum Classic, that's a huge green candle. That's going to trigger the bots and the algorithms to start buying. And then we start to see some of this excitement and hype and moon mentality come back to crypto. So that's why I learned for crypto is you don't have to trade. I don't have to trade every day or invest every day, but I need to look at the chart and understand what's happening and figure out for myself, where am I going to buy? Where am I going to sell on the chart? Algo, I mean, check this out. Algo, I'm on a weekly chart, so I'm turning into investor mode right now. Thank you for the follow. The weekly chart Algo is, look how low this is on the support level. Okay, so if this holds, this is double bottom, and we're looking at possibly the bottom of Algo right now if the market survives, right? There's like 200, 300, 400% potential here if we have a rally to the upside. That's a Super Bowl target. So if we close and lose 16 cents, I mean, then we know it's game over in terms of short, sell. XLM right here on the weekly, holding that support level. So if we get that bounce, you could see it try to go up 100%. Gains. VeChain, it's a lot of you could see a lot of these cryptos are like right at a teetering point. Meaning if we can hold the support level and go up, it's going to be beautiful altcoin gains. But if we lose it, oh, big drop. It could be a big problem. Okay. Mana, same thing. Filecoin, even on the upside down, head and shoulders, H bar, trying to hold that higher low waves. You could see it on every coin. Top 25 coins. Tezos. Even Ape is doing it. Aave is doing it as well. EOS, I usually don't talk about EOS, but look at this, almost triple bottom. So if EOS is going to be a good sign for some of the older altcoin health. It's below $1. You get 50% to the upside. Wow. These two targets, right? So line in the sand. I'm drawing my line in the sand. If we can hold that, it's going to be beautiful entry point. We're going to be so happy. If it keeps going down, that's okay too. It's just hands off. Hands off trading. Maybe if I get stopped out in a couple of trades, it's okay. Just wait for the bottom to happen, and then we get the gains on that, right? Meme coins have been going crazy right now, but unless somebody has a request, I'm not going to show it. So Neo example is we hit this weekly on the bottom side, right? So this is okay. As long as we don't go below $6, we can pull back and then the uptrend start, right? Right here, we bounced up like back in March 2020. People were not sure. We had to crash to the pandemic, and then we had this bounce like we do now. And if we can maintain that to the upside, beautiful gains possible. In the short term, I do believe that we're going to test and come down in the short term, like in the next couple of days or something, or a week. But I'm talking long term. If you want like big gains in crypto, we gotta defend certain levels on the downside. Okay, let me look at some stocks. Look at some stocks here. And then I'm gonna also look at some Forex at the end just to take a quick glance. But stocks as an investor, let's just look. Weekly lower low. Pfizer is the weekly lower low. Moderna is at support level. Merck might be a short opportunity here because this is bearish momentum on the weekly. It's just about to start, so it's like negative 10% on Merck level. NVAX at a low, but it could go lower. You can see tech is like the opposite. All these tech companies at relative highs. Netflix as well, just trying to break out through its resistance on the upside. An investor Meta continuing, but it's getting to an overbought range, so I'm expecting some kind of little bit of pullback. Now, one thing is, again, crypto's similar. Coinbase could be the next Palantir. I'm already long Coinbase a little bit. Because if this turns to upside down head and shoulders, look how huge this thing is. This thing is 100% potential gains, right? That'll take us to about 153. But we need to establish that right shoulder. If it comes down to my stop loss a little bit, that's fine. It just needs to not go to $30. That'd be catastrophe. And then if we downtrend below that, then it's game over, and probably crypto would be down as well. But this kind of looking like Palantir chart, is it not? That's why I'm looking at it. Next one, Hood, very similar. I might be interested in Robinhood as well. I hope the market's not going to crash, but I'm starting to think about if we can hold the support level on Hood. This is the third time it's here. If it doesn't crash down, this could be the good entry spot, and why I drew that risk reward to try to get potentially like 30 to 80% gains. If it drops down, I'm gonna short this thing. AMD in the uptrend, Nvidia at all-time highs, so that's why I kind of watch out for Nvidia. They have earnings coming up, and see what's going to happen there. Any bad news on their earnings, you can see this thing pull back hard. You never want to be the last one in. If you're on my streams long time ago, in terms of October, I was longing Nvidia like here. I was all in Nvidia in here. Okay, I talked about a potential upside down head and shoulders like 6 months ago, and now it's come to fruition. So that's why I talk about setups like way ahead of time. Intel, I like there's a triple bottom here, and the fact that it's testing this like 382 level on the Fibonacci support area. If we could try to hold this level, see, right? Little cup and handle action, right? Usually cup and handle is in the uptrend, but still, we could back test that so we can get out of there. Because you realize Intel is the one chip company that didn't go up a lot. So there could be a laggard gain play here for Intel, depending on earnings, after the earnings. Roku is not quite a Palantir, but you can see here it's deep in its retrace, That's why. Okay. If this is a quick lower low, then we'll see a drop, right, to $20. I might short this thing down and pick some up on the bounce down here, maybe like 20. But if it's higher low, I want to pick some up now to try to get this back up to 100. So depends on which way the market goes. I'm not going to look at every single stock, but I'm just trying to find some interesting setups besides the one I already bought. I mean, MJ's cannabis is basically downtrending. It's been the ultimate short for like 5 years. But I do want to point out that CGC is hit below its all-time low of $1.12 in the past. So, it's kind of everybody forgot about it, but if there's some big developments in the cannabis sector, and if it's legal in your state or your country, then in the USA, we have not had a significant bounce. It's going to take years for this thing to develop, but I'm not forgetting about cannabis companies, because the hype used to be there, and as long as we see some support level forming and we start going sideways here, that might be an interesting play, but it's going to take long time for that to happen. Even then, like MedMen, right? There's a double bottom play, and that was a huge play. But don't want to push it too much because it's controversial. McDonald's hitting that higher high on the weekly. McDonald's, some companies are simple in terms of, in the pandemic, do I need McDonald's or do I not need McDonald's? Yes, I need McDonald's, right? And so it didn't go down that much. It's one of those wonderful stocks. If you look at like Coca-Cola as well, are people drinking Coca-Cola in the pandemic? If there's an emergency or disaster, I'm drinking water. I'm gonna drink some Coca-Cola. If like somebody hands me a can, it's brand new, I'm gonna drink that, right? So it has importance. So quick look at like Starbucks as well. Starbucks had a huge pullback with a nice continuation rally on the weekly. You could see the big mega targets like 151 all the way out here. So that's why, if the market doesn't crash back down in 3 to 6 months, I mean, it might be all systems go, green light possible on some of these like laggard growth stocks. We're kind of halfway right now. It really reminds me of the pandemic. Let me put this on the purple mark so you can see it's like right here, and there's also right here. Okay, so 2 ways it's going to go. We're going to break out that heart line, keep going up, or we're not. right, running out of time here, so just kind of now for some of these crypto coins, like crypto stocks, this is what I'm saying. Ethereum Classic, the Grayscale Ethereum Classic Stock Trust, this thing's at support. I'm already long ETCG, right? So hopefully, if this thing doesn't crash back down below $3, get some this right at the support level. So I really believe in this. If we can hold this, if the bulls can hold this, hopefully it doesn't get sold off to oblivion. I might be at the bottom. I might have caught the bottom here. As you know, this might be a 10x play, but the risk right now, the risk reward, the downside is like negative 50%. So it's not for it's very very volatile as well. All right, these other ones I already talked about it. Forex majors. Let's look at what's going on here. Starting off with the Euro USD. Watch out here. There's bearish momentum forming on the Euro USD. Right? This is going up. This is going down. This is going down. So the DXY, flipping to that, I'm already long DXY because we have, I'm long the dollar right now because we have a double MACD histogram uptrend, up momentum right now. And the daily already is holding its higher low and bouncing off that support level. So I've been long DXY for some time now, right? I shorted silver and I longed the dollar because the charts were telling me to, right? I see this and it's kind of going this way and it breaks out. Okay, just long that thing and make money, right? Or make profits, right? Just trade the system, trade the play. So DXY looking like it wants to continue bouncing. Watch out for that in terms of the Forex. USD JPY broke out of a sim triangle. Let's see here. USD JPY high low, higher high, trying to follow the dollar currency index. Okay. And it broke out of resistance. So now it's going to need a back test 137.54 and not come down. Because if it does, the support level will be back at like a 134.56. Okay. So crypto setups have more potential gains because a lot of these Forex has already bounced up. Aussie dollar, gonna go sideways. Looks like some of this momentum kind of fizzled out. There's a head and shoulders, however, so I just kind of want to watch out for this. Head and shoulders here, the downside target like negative 9%, take you down to all new all-time lows here about below 60 cents USD. Want to watch out for that. If you lose the support of 65, then big trouble there. All right, that concludes. That's all I had today to show. Oh, there's one request. Okay. Hello again. Okay, so thank you for the follow, and then we'll do this. We have one request. IQV, the stock from TradingView. It's just a user request. Thank you, Casey. IQVIA Holdings, interesting on the New York Stock Exchange. It's a health service industry. Very nice. Volume 1.56 million, so it's kind of a low volume stock with 184 million shares float, market cap 37 billion. Their earnings, just top line, EPS and revenue, they beat certain times in a row. Okay, pricing in, so they're trying to fundraise money right now. All right, let's get this Fibonacci up, and you can see this looks very much like S&P 500. Just bounced off that support level. It's still going a long-term symmetrical triangle sideways. You can see that just kind of tighten up here. It just bounced off that higher low on the support level, and then you're trying to long this one. So let's see what your risk reward is. Entry at where? This educational. Price target of 208. And stop loss at 195.16. Oh no, entry at 20. I see. This kind of got botched. 200. There you go. All right, you're trying to do this. I would increase this target way higher if you're trying to be a bull. Okay, if you're trying to do this because it bounced up the support, that's good. That's good. And the double MACD histogram is there. However, in the short term, right, on like a 5-minute 15, if you're a day trader at 6:30 in the morning, 9:30 in the morning, is this thing looks like it wants to pull back to a support. And because it's such a low volume stock, it's probably heavily correlated with SPY. It is 15-minute in the up cross, but you could see it could test any one of these levels down here, which would kind of be in your stop loss range. So the stop loss is a little bit tight. If you're trying to swing trade this, the H4, H1 is at a relative high. The H4 is at a relative resistance. So just watch out for this thing pulling back on you. You want to try to buy it at a dip zone. At a dip zone, right? So obviously the best entry was down here. It's in the past now, but at 4 to 8%. All right, that 4% target, 8% target might be halfway into your target, but still a reasonable trade. As long as it doesn't come down, because sometimes when this thing runs, if you look at the previous price history, right, it just kind of goes up in a straight line, a little flag, and then goes up one more time, consolidates, and then you have a bounce, right? So this might be, if you're going to enter in, like say, a Monday, it could keep going up. You might have another entry in the future, so I would not disregard this because the MACD histogram is here. Just watch out for the short-term volatility because some tech stocks might sell off a little bit, which could affect this one. But, healthcare, it does kind of match my, healthcare has been oversold a little bit and it's trying to bounce. So like similar to Pfizer or J&J or Merck is one that's too high, but hopefully that explains it for you on IQV. Let's look at your other one and then we'll end. ACAD. Acadia Pharmaceuticals. Okay, this one's an obvious uptrend. This one is more correlated with QQQ. It is in the NASDAQ. So watch out for this one because the bots are probably in control on this one, the algorithms. But if we look at our Fibonacci low to high, and we draw some trend lines in here, right? You can see it trying to break out. So the problem with breakout is it needs to retest and then go up. It can keep going up, but let's see what your entry was. 2450. Profit target 28. Stop loss 2246. All right. I see the stop loss. Just watch out in case if this thing pulls back. You might have to open up another one, another trade. But again, breakouts. So it seems like your style, Casey. I always see you bring a lot of continuation breakout plays, which is nothing wrong with that. It's just the chances are a little bit lower than buying support levels, right? This is not just calling out anybody. I'm talking to all traders, even myself, investors. If you're long, you want to try to buy the dips, and if you're short, you want to try to sell the mountain ceilings, right? So in very short intraday, like a 2-minute, 5 minutes, somebody's going to try to short that on market open. But on a hourly, it's still uptrending, so that's good. It's still uptrending. It just might backtest the support at some point. Same thing happened with CPRT or CRPT, the last one. That one backtested for a little bit, and then we had that like 8% day. I saw that too. So hopefully you caught those gains. But on the H4, it's starting to see this bearish momentum like coming down on the downside. So there might be a little bit of a test on this downside. So you want to recheck what I said about QQQ earlier, because QQQ is at the same spot. It just kind of poked its price out. And if it doesn't sustain up higher, it's going to crash back down. And then we're going to be wanting to buy somewhere in this zone for a secondary trade. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. Went over time here. Just want to say thank you for watching, following, supporting. If you like this stream, if you want to support the stream, you learn something, go ahead and give me a follow on TradingView, YouTube, Twitch, or Twitter. And I do live streams almost every week. It's been every week for over a year now. And next week, because we do have a 3-day, 4-day holiday next week. I'm going to try to either stream on Friday the 26th. If not, I'll come back on Monday the 29th because it's Memorial Day holiday on 29. So either 26th or 30th, to be honest, 26th or 30. So just everyone's going to enjoy the holiday there. So I'm going to do that too. So thank you so much, everybody. I hope you have a nice trading week, and I will see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.